Yo, what's going on, everybody? Let's go. Let's go. Been waiting a couple of days for this. You can see I'm in a little bit of a weird situation. You may even see moving in the background. I got my stuff packed up. I'm coming back to the Mecca. All right? Hell yeah, I'm going to talk like a wrestler today. WrestleMania is on the card. But I want to welcome you back if you visit my channel for the first time. Let me get those out of the way. If you visited my channel for the first time, I appreciate you. Welcome to Sheer Brilliance Knicks, and you've arrived at the right time because this is Knicks Daily Edition. Knicks Daily Edition. This is when every time in the season, whether it's the regular season or the playoffs, after a Knicks victory, we celebrate by visiting Knicks Deli. And if you ain't from New York, or if you are from New York, you know the importance of the culture of the bodega or the deli in New York. So this is how we celebrate our wins. And here at Knicks Deli, there's only 4 items on the menu. I told you 4 items on the menu. First off is the bacon, egg, and cheese. All right, don't walk in that mother flipper asking for a bacon, egg, and a cheese. You got to say it with one word, bacon, egg, and cheese. And that's when we look at who are the 3 players that together put that thing together and make that sandwich phenomenal. So we're going to look at who are the 3 players of this game who make up the bacon, egg, and cheese. Next on the menu, we got the dollar slice. Now, everybody in the world knows New York has the best pizza in the world. And I know where I'm at. I'm 2 hours away from Chicago. And that ain't pizza, that's a mother flipping casserole. So we're going to look at who is the dollar slice. The dollar slice represents the best. Not only the best, but stability. So we're going to look at who is the stabilizing factor of the game. All right, next on the menu is the chopped cheese. Now, the chopped cheese is relatively new to the menu, but that thing be bussin'. So we're going to look at who's the chopped cheese. Who's the player that came in to the game, relatively new, but had an impact on the game. And lastly, we're going to look at who was the quarter water, okay? Now, the quarter water, you can't have the chopped cheese. You can't have the dollar slice. You can't have the bacon, egg, and cheese if you ain't got nothing to wash that thing down with. So we're going to look at who's the quarter water of the game. That player who came in and gave us significant minutes or important minutes in one singular quarter or a little bit spread out throughout the game. And then after that, we're going to look at who is the nah, son, nah. You wildin' moment of the game. And that goes to something or a person before, in the middle, or after the game that make you look at the screen sideways and be like, nah, son, nah. You wildin'. All right? Then we're going to take an opportunity to give my parting thoughts. Typically, we would do a Read at Knicks Deli, but I'm doing this video on my phone, not on the computer. So we're going to have to skip that for today. But my parting thoughts are going to include a lot, because I got a lot to talk about. New York Knicks in the playoffs, 2023. And I'm here for every bit of it. So let's dive right in. Let's not waste no time. Who was the bacon of the bacon, egg, and cheese? And the bacon of this game, I'm going to give to Quentin mother flipping Grimes. All right? I normally would say Jalen Brunson. But nah, today we're giving it to Quentin Grimes. We're showing Quentin Grimes some love. Quentin mother flipping Grimes in his second season, has accomplished so much. He's built up a season exactly how we would have wished he would have had in his second year. He's put the league on notice that he's one of the up-and-coming sharpshooters, being elected to the sophomore rookie game for the All-Star break, where he put that skill on display. All right? Continuously on a team that has won 46 games, locking defenders up all throughout and getting cooked. He was getting cooked too. But that's what happens when you're young and you're hungry, you're coming up in the game and you're a competitor. You're going to let them feel you, but also they're going to know you coming. So you got to figure it out. But Quentin Grimes has had the type of season that we would only dream for from one of our young players. But in this particular game, this man went out there and he dropped 27 points on these fools. He dropped 5 assists and he had 2 rebounds to add to that. And that's a stat line that really sums up the type of player that he has proven that he is in this league, and he's only getting better. All right? This team, this game, we started out slow. All right? We had my guy, the 3-point shooter on their team. You know what I mean? He was feeling himself. And he should have been, because he was cooking in the first half. And like I said all season, something about this team that when another team starts off hot like that, we don't panic anymore. As Knicks fans, we sit there and we say, okay, when we going to make our run? All right, y'all. What adjustments will the coach make? Because now we're accustomed to Coach Tom Thibodeau making adjustments. What adjustments are going to be made? All right, I'm going to stick with y'all. How do y'all finish the second half and go into the halftime? How are y'all going to finish the second half? And as we've been proven time and time again this season, they fight. That's right. They fight. They chip away. And then they go into halftime and they discuss it. They do whatever they need to do. And according to Thibodeau, according to Jalen Brunson, Thibodeau got in their ass. And they make the adjustments. And they come out with the focus that we've seen all summer, that we've seen in the regular season, and that I expect to see when we get into the playoffs. They ratcheted up their intensity in different spots. They slowly chipped away at it. And they end up winning the game. I love the fact that Quentin Grimes is one of our young draft picks. And we attach young only representing age because now our young guys are experienced. And not only are they experienced, but they're confident. So the bacon, egg, and cheese goes to Quentin Grimes today. 27 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Now, who was the egg of the game? Who's the egg of the bacon cheese today? And that, of course, will go to Jalen mother-flipping Brunson. Let's go. The New York Knicks point guard. Let's go. And that's a guard with a G-O-D, not a G-U-A-R-D. So let's go. Jalen mother-flipping Brunson. The man who has come here and he's completely changed the culture of the Knicks. The expectation has been raised. We win. We win. We're going to win in this league. And we ain't going to wait for years. We ain't going to wait for nobody to mature or catch up. We got what we need right now. We ready to shock the world. I guarantee you, if the Knicks end this season in a dream scenario, they're going to go back to that RJ quote. It said in a locker room, there was some type of pact that was made, that we got exactly what we need to get here, to beat this league and end with a trophy. These players are serious this year. They're serious. And Knicks fans, we need to get on board with them. But we're looking at Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, as usual, takes the temperature of the game, takes the temperature of the team. Yeah, a team could get out to a hot start. They could jump on us, catch us a little bit off guard, catch us sleeping. But what this man do? Nothing short of 27 points. Also, three steals. All right, this man had 27 points, 3 steals, 8 assists. For those people who's talking about he's such a scoring point guard, he can't dish the rock. Unbelievable. 8 assists, 3 rebounds. 3 of them rebounds, all 3 defensive. Jalen Brunson. Nothing else we can say. We follow our leader. We follow our leader. We follow our leader who has proven himself to be of good character. We follow our leader who knows what it takes to work yourself from the bottom to get to the top. We follow our leader who we know has been doubted from day one. Up against the grain, everybody, no matter what he accomplishes, they still doubt him. If that ain't New York, I don't know what is. We follow our leader who has the ability to come into a locker room with a disgruntled, uninspired superstar. Superstar who's unsure as to what his standing is in the locker room. And we get another one who's signed the same level of contract that he signed, come in. He has the ability to assimilate in the locker room, to encourage and empower the current star, and to get everybody else on board. Not one peep have we heard about him. The only peep that we hear about him is when he's dropping 48 peeping points on the guy that was supposed to be the favorite to come here, who was supposed to be the superstar. At what point do we recognize this and start acknowledging that our point guard is the next superstar? Charles Oakley sat out there and he was right. He said, they're telling me that these 4 guys are supposed to be next, 2 of them being Zion and Ja Morant. But I'm looking at it and I'm unsure of what the NBA's future is going to be. Because right now I don't see who's going to take that banner and run with it like LeBron did. Why not us? It ain't got to be a superstar. It could be a team. It could be a team like the Detroit Pistons where ultimately their MO is you win as a team if you play the right way. Why not us? Why not us if it's the team aspect of that Dallas team where they played as a team and won a championship? Why not us? Until you get that bona fide star. But who's to say we don't got that star already on the roster? Jalen Brunson is just as much of a superstar if Donovan Mitchell is considered a superstar, whatever your definition is. Once again, he's going to have to prove it. So this is why I love our point guard. This is why I love the leader of our team, because attitude reflects leadership. Jalen Brunson, you are the egg of the bacon, egg, and cheese today. Now, who is the cheese of the game? Who wraps up this thing that makes this sandwich bussin'? And probably the most popular thing on the menu in the New York Knicks deli. And the cheese obviously is going to go to today. We're going to get that thing to Emmanuel Mother Flipping Quickly. Round of applause for Emmanuel Mother Flipping Quickly. You were the cheese of the game, my brother. Continuing to smash whatever narrative you had of him. Being written off in the middle of the season, towards the end of the beginning, and definitely in the middle of the season, because he was struggling to find out what his role was, as was everybody on the team. When you have a new addition to your squad who plays such an important role. But Emmanuel real quickly, cooked that thing up and turned it around. And in yesterday's game, it was 22 points. It was 3 steals. It was 5 assists. It was 6 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey was fortunate to be on a team where he could play such a role early on. And IQ didn't complain. He didn't say nothing. He sat there and he put in the work. He continued to work when comparisons were made. That was the better guard coming out of Kentucky. He continued to work when his name was one of the primary names in trade talks about bringing another guard in. He continued to work. Did he get upset? Hell yeah, he got upset. He's a competitor. He's a competitor. But what he did was he marked it down, because he's been doing that since college. Anybody that's passed on him, he's marked it down. Anybody who's talked negatively about him, he's marked it down. Anyone who is opposed to his beliefs and talks about, you too churchy, whatever have you, he marks it down. He continues to do what he's always done. He laces up his boots and he busts ass. That's what he did last night. There is nobody on the team that gets nervous or out of sorts anymore. And I said it. I said it. I not only predicted it, but I said it in the season. I said, at the beginning of the season, we're learning each other how to play. This point guard who is now in charge and tasked with facilitating where people needs to be, getting them in the spots where they perform best. It's going to be an adjustment, and we're going to look shaky. And I said, by the middle of the season, that's when we're starting to look to gel. That's when we're starting to look for more cohesion. On the court and off the court. That's what we're starting to look for. But by the end of the season is where we want to be playing our best basketball. It should be muscle memory at that point. And it is. It should be muscle memory at that point. And it is. And the problem for the league is that it is. With our starting unit and with our second bench, our bench coming in. And with the terror squad. And it's the terror squad. Because slowly but surely, the league is hearing about the bench unit. They were hearing about us. In these trades, they try to diminish our value. Oh, the New York Knicks should have came up off of that. I'm sorry, but average at best. Who is IQ? Who is Obi Toppin? The New York Knicks are holding on. This is why they're going to continue to be the laughing stock. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Who is laughing now? The New York Knicks fans, they overrate their players. Mother flipper, we watch these players. We'll tell you if they dookie. We'll tell you if they whack. That's one thing. If you expect nothing else from a New York fan, we're going to keep it 100 with you. We know if the team is whack. And not all the time do we know, because we as well started writing off some of these players. Stand up and lift your chin up if you know you were one of them. Because with Randall, I'll lift my chin up and I'll take that. I knew I was one of them. But at the end of the day, we want to call somebody good and they not. And we ain't going to fool ourselves either. But in this game, Emmanuel quickly did as he's been doing all season. He comes up big time and he plays unafraid. You need that big time shot, he going to take it. Is he going to come around a curl and pop up for that three? He going to do that. But now he's done mixed up. He's chefed up other things. His game is a mother flipping salad. That man can hit the floater. That man drives to the basket. He's at 99 with his layup package now. And you know that he paid attention to Brunson. You saw it at the beginning of the season when he fake interviewed Brunson. He was just like, yo, bro, how is your layup package like that? They were in awe of Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson said at the beginning of the season, he said, my leadership skills is as such where I come in and I observe first and I let my game do the talking. I let them know that I'm not willing to ask them to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. And I go in there and I cook. And if I'm not injured, then I'm playing. And if my leg ain't broke, then I'm playing. He said that and he did it. And that's where the respect is built. That's where the respect is built. So the bacon, egg, and cheese of this game here in Knicks Deli are Quentin Grimes, Jalen Brunson, and Emmanuel mother flipping quickly. Your order's up. Give a round of applause for your bacon, egg, and cheese of the game. Yeah, now who's next? Now, of course, who's next? We got the dollar slice. We serve up the dollar slice here. Once again, who's the most stabilizing factor? Who was the stabilizing factor that kept us legitimately calm? All right? And helped us get this win. And that's going to go to my young guy, my young boy, the one that recently turned heel since this WrestleMania weekend. He moved from the light to the dark this weekend. Now you'll find him posted up with the do-rag and shades. Now you find him coming to the game just saucy. I'm just saucy. That's how you're going to find him. My young guy, Obi mother flipping Toppin. Obi mother flipping Toppin. Round of applause for my young guy. Obi Toppin gets the dollar slice of the game today. His stabilizing component, his stabilizing contribution to this game was that we didn't know what we were going to get. Our engine, our all-stars out. So what are we going to get from you, Obi? Are you going to crumble in the spotlight? What do we expect from you, Obi? Are you going to come in? You're going to be a little bit rattled? You're going to be running too fast and miss the outlet? You're going to be going too slow? You're going to turn the ball over? What are we doing? You're going to play in this game and play a little shaky like you never played in New York before? Like the Garden ain't your home? What you going to do? Well, ultimately, what it is you did was you came out and you dropped 21 points. Not only that, you dropped 4 dimes. All right? And you dropped the dunk and you changed as you always do. You played your game. You ain't post up 27 times. You ain't do that. You went out there and you let the game come to you. You played within the flow of the game. And with your presence on the floor, you sped the game up. You sped the game up. And after the game, in the locker room, you did something a little bit different. Kept the shades on. Kept the shades on. You rocked the do-rag so that you could get those waves waving. And he said, this is just what we do. It's next man up. And Knicks fans, what made us fall in love with our kids is that they came in and they provided that positivity in an environment that for so many years had been negative. They provided that effervescence. They were excited about playing in the Garden. They were excited about wearing the orange and blue colors and putting on the heaviest uniform in the game. They were excited about it. They didn't want to run away from pressure. They looked at each other on draft night, not knowing each other from a hole in the wall, and they said, "You ready to turn this thing around?" Even Julius, being a young before his prime, coming into the game, having proven himself as a scorer, but not as a winner, said, "I ain't running from this. I'm built for this. So whether or not I like it or you like it, I'm here. New York, I'm here." And we love them for it. We love them young boys especially for it. But you know, when you go from being a boy to a man, you put away your childish things. And when Jalen Brunson came to this team, he let them all know, "I see you, young bucks. And this is why I was excited to come here. But I need you to do a couple of things. Take one of those 2 toys out of the chest. Take 1 or 2 of them out of the chest right now. Because you're going to have opportunities to play with those when you need to. But all the other childish things, I need you to put them away. Mitch Robb, I need you to put them away. IQ, I need you to put them away. Obi Toppin, I need you to put away. Grimes, McBride, put those things away. Because we got something great to do. And if we do it while we're young, we got many more years to continue to do it and ride this thing out." And the first person to stand up and say, "I'm with you and I see you," was Emmanuel Quickly. But the next person who was standing right up there next to him, he says, "I might not get my opportunity right now, but when you call me, I'm going to be ready." And that's Obi mother flipping Toppin. Everybody has a question surrounding Obi Toppin outside of the New York Knicks. But inside of the New York Knicks, I'm disappointed, if I'm being honest. I'm disappointed with what I've been hearing about this talk with Obi Toppin. Do we need to trade him? I told you Obi is ass. We need to get him out of here. Or we need to get something for him because he's too good to sit behind Julius Randle. I said that. What can we expect? And this boy ain't do nothing but play his role. I'm sitting side by side with an all-star, 2-time all-star. Person that's played with Kobe Bryant, who's had conversations with Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bean Bryant, Mamba mentality. I'm sitting shoulder to shoulder with this cat. I'm talking to him, the rest of the world trying to put us together. And sometimes I feel the energy that this cat is feeling that. He's feeling my pressure coming up. So what I need to do is just play my position and give him that energy that I'm not a threat, bro. No matter what you think, no matter what those fans chant, I'm with you, bro. Big bro, I got you. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I'm battling. I'm not going to disrespect you by not battling you, by not putting my best foot forward. I'm listening. But this season, when Emmanuel Quickly said that, it's time for me to shine no matter who's the point guard who's starting or who's the point guard on the team. It's my time to shine. I'm tired of dimming my light. I ain't doing it no more. And he looks over at Obi after the game when they're visiting with families. And he says, "Yo, you riding with me? It's time. We can continue to be our best, even if we have the best on our team. It's time. You ready to step up too?" My man Obi looked at him and he was just like, "Of course I am." Because I sat there on national television and I cried like a baby. Between my mother and my father, I cried like a baby. Being in the shadow of my pops, who's a New York legend, I cried like a baby. And the one thing I could gather myself to say when I composed myself was, "I ain't gonna let you down. I promise. I promise I'm gonna do this my part. I promise. New York is my city. I promise that I'm gonna give everything that I have." So anybody who's talking about, you know what, I seen that heel turn. I don't know if I feel this new Obi bumped that. Because when they got the shades, they come into the game swagged out. That's New York. And that's been missing in New York forever. This is why we rock and love Clyde so much. Because Clyde and Joe Namath, they stepped out there even before winning something and was just like, "Yo, look at me, I'm here. I'm feeling like Harlem. I'm feeling like Brooklyn. I'm walking in with that New York City dust on me. This is where I'm at." So when I see that young boy in the back at the end of the game with the do-rag and the shades, I'm like, "Where have you been? Where have you been? When I see IQ with the Gucci's on or the shades coming in, and he's sitting there, I'm like, where you been? Where you been at? Where you been? We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. And we knew it was all along. We were just waiting for the flower to sprout. All we did was continue to water when everybody else outside the Knicks tried to provide clouds. Nah, you ain't doing that on our watch. So we went out and we got solar panels to help you grow. And we tried to protect you. Tibbs too. I'm one of Tibbs' solar panels. Because I saw it, knowing the components from the 90s and all the ingredients that helped us win. Knowing that that's exactly what he was doing. And having you new fans sit there and question him, talk about he bummed and the game has passed them by. Watch everybody be following our moves. As we march through these playoffs, watch everybody. Watch them change the tune. Watch they change the style of play. Just watch. And watch Obi be one of the facilitators of it. In 1999, where we crushed everybody else's predictions, and the New York Knicks team made that run to the finals, it was because we had two separate teams on one squad. We had a half-court team who was the starters when we had Oakley, we had Ewing. We ran a half-court set, Larry Johnson. And in the moment that came in, and our second unit came in, then we were off to the races with Latrell Sprewell, Marcus Camby, John Starks. Then we were off to the races. I don't know if it was John Starks. I don't know. That could have been passed. Anyway, so they didn't know how to deal with us because we played two styles within a game. So Obi Toppin, I see you. Continue to do what you do. Tighten up those skills right now. Last few games, use it. But don't listen to the chatter. Keep doing what you're doing. Because people will always want you to stay in the box they put you in. When you put away those childish things, show up. And show up with your chest. Dollar slice of the game. Obi mother flipping Toppin. Now, who's the chopped cheese of the game? Who's the chopped cheese? I'm on my bully today. I'm feeling like it. I'm moving back to New York, packed up the place. It's being shipped right now. My brother going to be flying in with the Timbs on. And we stomping to the game tomorrow night and representing our squad for the last time for me in Indiana. That's what we doing. So who's the chopped cheese of the game? Who I'm going to get a chopped cheese to? Now the chopped cheese is relatively new to the New York menu, but that thing be bussin'. So who is relatively new in their contribution? But you know what? That thing was bussin'. And we're going to give that to Evan mother flipping Fournier. Oui, my guy. Oui. Okay? There's a value and depth in this league. There are people I'm hearing on the radio who talk about, you know what? New York Knicks got a great team. They got a deep team. They got a hell of a bench. But the bench doesn't really factor in the playoffs. All right? Depth is one thing, But, they got veterans that are on the bench. All of us, we was trying to move them cats out at the trade deadline. All of us. But now the Knicks say, you know what? We like what we have. And if these vets are cool with doing what we need them to do, then we got him. Evan Fournier has been that vet. Since he's been here, he was the first one to get benched. That man looked right in the camera and said, Tibbs is trying to win. He just wants to win. And I know that to be true. So I'll be ready when he calls me. And Tom Thibodeau called him on Sunday night. And what did Evan Fournier do? Evan Fournier contribute with 9 points. Let me see, what was Ev's stat line? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to give the chopped cheese to Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein gets the chopped cheese of the game. Come on. You want to talk about this front office? It puzzles me and it boggles my mind that Knicks fans themselves talks about their own front office the way they do. Isaiah Hartenstein came in here and said, I wanted to be in a place that wanted me. I wanted to be in a place that wanted me. The most under the radar signing is one of our most impactful. And we're going to see that come to fruition even more so in the playoffs. This man showed up last night as the chopped cheese, putting up 9 points, 8 rebounds, a guaranteed 8, 6 of them things being defensive rebounds. But not only that, he provided 2 steals and 2 assists. We got the best passing big man in the game. Oh, those ain't my words. He said it. He said, I've been this way for the longest time. I'm the best passing big man in the game. All right? That's what Jokic of the East said. Or Jokic is Hartenstein of the West. I'm better than the Hartenstein of the West is what he said. And when you come through and you stand up with your chest, you make a statement like that, you ready for any of the smoke. You ready for all of the smoke. And you welcome. In that moment, I brought him a pair of Timbs. I sat there at his locker. I said, these are the butters. And you know what? They're yours. And he was just like, I'm good, my guy. I appreciate you, and I'm going to take these. But then he lifted some of the black Timbs on there. He said, I just want to let you know I always had them. And I'm like, I knew that. Isaiah Hartenstein, you were the chopped cheese, not chopped liver of the game here at Knicks Deli. Let's go. So now that we got through the menu of all the food, you can't have the chopped cheese. You can't have the dollar slice. You can't have the bacon, egg, and cheese. You ain't got nothing to wash that thing down with. And here in Knicks Deli, that's the quarter water. So who's the quarter water of the game? Talk to me. Who is the quarter water of today's game? All right? The quarter water of the game, once again, goes to my guy, Mitchell Mother Flippin' Robinson. I am one of Mitch Rob's biggest fans. Money making Mitch. Mitch better have my money. Mitch, please. Mitchell Mother Flippin' Robinson is what makes all of this thing in New York possible. All of it. There are no 46 wins without Mitchell Robinson. None. Not 46. I need to respect this man. As if you have one of the best centers in this league. Start talking about your boy like that. I'm happy to hear that the disrespect that we was hearing early on about Miles Mother Flippin' Turner and getting the big who could give you points out of the middle. I'm glad that conversation has dissolved. Yeah, he came out a little bit and said, I want more touches, but that ain't your role. And I remember it wasn't too early in the season. I mean, it was a few seasons back when we were terrible. And LeBron James and his team came into the Garden, but he was injured that game. And he sat on the sidelines, and there was somebody from New York, a celebrity, who said to him, you know, man, these Knicks, I think it was McEnroe he was talking to. And LeBron said, look at them out there playing. They're all over the place. They don't know what their roles are. I give LeBron slack every time because when he comes in, he determines what players he brings with him. You go here, you do this. You, Kevin Love, you pulling down 20 rebounds in games, 40 rebounds, but I need you to be an outside shooter. You, Chris Bosh, you an all-star in Toronto. You can carry a team yourself, but I need you to play the outside and hit this jump shot in this mid-range. That's what I need you to do. They do it, and they become champions. And all of y'all talking about Thibodeau is antiquated because he gives them roles, and you saying that he's not fully maximizing their potential. Y'all like the chaos and the 19 wins that come with it. Y'all love that, but you want your guy to be saucy. You want your guy to be mellow and hit those big shots, and then we don't make the playoffs. He's been given an assignment and a role, and he plays it at the highest level. He's the best offensive rebounder, the best rebounder in the league. Up there. Your center. Athletic, long, fearless, intimidating. Ain't that what New York centers are supposed to be? Don't we got a center GOAT from New York? Patrick laid that thing down and said, listen, if you're going to put on that C jersey, that C position, and want to be considered defensive player of the year one day, and you come in here playing soft, you don't belong in New York. Mitch Robb understands the assignment. And last night he understood it to the tune of 8 points, 4 assists, 11 rebounds. And of course, 4 of them things was on the offensive board. I ain't got nothing else to say. He's our quarter water of the game. So lastly, what was the nah, son, nah, you wildin' moment of the game? This is the moment where something either before, during, or after the game by a commentator comes into play, or a player sometimes during the game. Something will pop up and make you say, nah, son, nah, you wildin'. And my nah, son, nah, you wildin' moment of the game goes to every one of the doubters. Every one of you mother flippers, every one of you. How do you feel? How do you like it? How do you like seeing Knicks fans deservedly celebrating their squad? How do you like it? How do you like Knicks fans standing up with their chests, creating all types of graphics, even the team showing them love by liking their graphics and liking their posts on social media? How do you like that? How does it feel to be so wrong? How do you like that? How do you like the fact where somebody like a Mike Wilbon would be like, yo, listen, can they continue this 8-game winning streak and make it 9s? And he looked dead in the camera and says, no. How do you like that? How does that feel? Like Kobe Bryant, or like Shaq said to Kobe Bryant, how does our A taste? How do you feel? You gotta feel shitty. You gotta feel down. You gotta feel out about it. You gotta shut up and you have to eat humble pie. You gotta eat crow. You gotta eat crow, Nick, on first things first. You gotta eat crow. Stephen A. Smith, you gotta feel bad. I know you feel bad because of my man Perkins making you feel bad. You gotta feel bad because you said, oh, I'm not gonna go to a game because front office, they don't want us to see. Listen, they don't want to let you know what's cooking because you're gonna get out there and tell the recipe. You're gonna talk about the ingredients that are in a recipe. But yo, I love it. Knicks fans, do what you do. Knicks fan TV, do what you do. Nick at Night, do what you do. Blur-Inch Teals, do what you do. Clutch BBTV, do what you do. All of you do what you do. Chris Persanian, do what you do. Continue to talk that talk. Continue to talk that talk. But what I need you to do, I need you to start talking about championship, because that's for this year. Championship, that's for this year. And you need to talk about it because none of them are going to talk about it. Not because they don't think you can, it's because they don't want you to. They don't want you even to consider the possibility of winning the championship. They don't want you to consider the possibility. But I got news for you. If anybody in here has ever played the lotto, if anybody in here has ever played the lotto, when that jackpot went up to $1 billion, if you ever took your behind out there, knowing that you hate gambling, knowing what your odds are, but once that joint hit $1 billion, you went out there and you purchased the ticket, then you need to believe this. Your New York Knicks are going to be the 2022-2023 NBA champions. And this little logo is going to have the NBA championship trophy. Listen. We have Larry David. Next is Larry O'Brien. We have Larry David. Next is Larry O'Brien. Start believing that. If you ever bought a lottery ticket, you need to start talking about the New York Knicks, your New York Knicks, as the unexpected, historic next NBA champion. Why not? Why not us? Why not them? Why not Gotham City? Keep in mind, everything that applies to life applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. Follow me on Twitter at SBKnicks on Twitter. Follow me at Instagram at SBKnicks on Instagram. And stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button and click the subscribe button. Share this if you want. Why not us? Why not now? Sheer brilliance, Knicks. I'm out.